The SEARS KENMORE 158 series flatbed sewing machine. This happens to be the model 1357. It's a zigzag sewing machine with auxiliary creative stitches. Let's start by looking at the controls on the top of the machine. This is the special stitch dial. This is your bobbin winder. You engage by pressing that forward and turning the thumb wheel on the side of the machine counterclockwise to loosen the hand wheel. Here we have a spool pin, another spool pin. This is your presser foot pressure. When you press this down, it's going to put pressure on the presser foot to hold your fabric down on the bed of the table. And to release it, you just press down on that outer ring. Depending on how hard you press down on it, that will adjust the presser foot pressure. Here we have an upper tensioner for when you wind your bobbin. You'll put your thread through this little pressure plate right here. And here we have the upper thread guide. Now let's move to the controls on this right side of the machine. We have a guide that shows us the different stitches we can create depending upon how we set these dials on this side of the machine. This outer ring is your stitch width control, and the inner dial is the stitch modifier. This dial controls the stitch length, which can be changed just by turning this dial to make a shorter stitch, and then when you get to the orange, that will come in conjunction with your modifier stitches up above. Here we have the reverse lever. Press that down to lock your stitch. Your on-off switch is right here. The machine is unplugged currently. When you turn on your machine, the light should come on. And this lever here is the drop feed. This will drop the presser feet so you can do free motion work. On this side of the machine, we have several thread guides. There's one here, there's one here, and one down below just above the needle. Your thread path will come through this guide. You'll put your presser foot in the up position, go through these pressure discs right here. Then you're going to go through this thread guide, through the take up lever, down through this thread guide, and through the needle from front to back. When you thread your machine, make sure you have the presser foot in the up position, and your thread goes between the pressure plates and catches this take-up spring. This is a flatbed machine, and your bobbin case and bobbin are under the bed of the machine. Just remove that cover plate, reach in and grab your bobbin case, remove it, and there's your bobbin case with your bobbin and the thread. To put it back in the machine, just pinch it between your thumb and forefinger like this, and you can put it right back in the machine. Cover plate goes back on. Coming back to the right hand side of the machine, let's talk about the different stitches that can be created. With the modifier on the orange dot and your width on this orange dot, you can create these different orange stitches. The way you would do that is you look at this dial up here at the image you're seeing in this little display window. That will show that you can do on the orange, you can do this zigzag stitch, and you can just simply turn this dial depending on how wide you want that stitch, and you would turn the lower dial depending on how long you would want the stitches, how long or how short. We turn the special stitch selector dial this way, and we'll see the next orange stitch. And as you move this around, as long as you're on this dot, you'll be doing the orange stitches. It may take 1 or 2 revolutions of the wheel because this is mechanical before it engages into the new stitch that you've selected. That just happens to be the 3-point zigzag. And we can go all the way around. You can just keep going around and around with this. Okay, I'm back to the starting position. The way you will do the white stitches on here, turn the modifier to the white dot, and then you're going to be doing these white stitches. I do happen to have the manual for this particular model. It's the 1357. I think the easiest way for me to show you all the different dials and controls is to just go through the user manual one section at a time. Section 1 is knowing your sewing machine. Here we can see installing the machine onto the portable table on this page. And on the right hand page here we can see how you loosen the thumb screw, how your thread path for the upper thread, the bobbin set on the bobbin winder, how to place the thread into the bobbin, and how to loosen the hand wheel when you wind the bobbin. And hopefully you can see all this writing here. And on the next page we're going to look at placing the bobbin in the bobbin case the correct way, how to install the bobbin into the hook assembly, checking your thread tension, and getting the thread to come up to the bed of the machine. And right here we can see the proper thread path for the upper thread coming off the back of your bobbin that you have on the spool pin, going through the thread guide, the upper tension. Most importantly, have your presser foot in the up position when you're doing this. And then we also show the take-up spring that you must get your thread through. We'll take a closer look at that. You come through the pressure plates, catch the take-up spring, and it should look like this when you have it threaded. Then you come down and go from the front to the back of your needle. All right, let's continue. Here it shows your top tension control, the proper way to adjust that, and what your stitches should look like, how you should have a balanced stitch when you have your upper and lower thread tension set properly. Next page we're going to look at how you adjust the tension on the bobbin. This is showing you run the screw counterclockwise to tighten it, this pressure plate against your thread coming out of the bobbin case. Loosen it. You can increase your tension by turning clockwise and loosen it by turning counterclockwise. And this is a balanced stitch right here. This shows loose stitches on the back side of your fabric. All right, in the next page you're going to see your stitch width control dial. The stitch width is this top dial right here. Wider stitch, turn to number 4. Straight stitch, back to the orange dot, and down below we have our stitch length, 6 stitches per inch, all the way to 0, and you have your orange marker and your reverse. And here we got, the reverse is right here they're showing us. Special stitch modifier. We've got the special stitch dial, which is this one right here on top that we just looked at earlier. This will describe how to go about working these different dials, how they work together to create a stitch. You have your special box stitch and elastic stretch, your serging or pine leaf stretch, and then here we're showing the presser foot regulator. Here we have the feed dog control and the sewing light. You have a multi-purpose needle plate which can be reversed whether you're doing a zigzag or a straight stitch. Sometimes you need to go to the straight stitch hole, so if you have an elastic fabric, the needle doesn't force it down through the hole. And we have the changing multi-purpose needle plate and the seam guide. Here we see the book shows the type of needles you want to use, the placement of the needle thread and fabric chart, and the presser feet. This machine only came with one presser foot. Sometimes I don't get everything when I get the machines. The buttonhole attachment. Starting to sew, garment construction stitches. Turning a square corner, zigzag stitching, overcasting, stretch stitching, rick-rack stretch stitching, smocking stretch stitching, overcast stretch stitching, serging or pine leaf stretch stitching, shell stitching, special finishing stitches. We have buttonhole making, zipper application, applique, blind hemming, mending, darning, button sewing, bar tacking. And if you have problems with your machine, here's a possible cause and what might be the cure. This is very important. I've made a few videos on how to take the hook out and clean your machine. And here you can go step by step. It shows all the different parts of the hook assembly, how you put them back together, take them out to clean them. Here it's showing oiling points from the top of the machine. This machine is, you don't even have screws holding this top cover on. You just get a good grip on it and pull straight up and it'll come right off and you can get in there to oil very easily. And here we have the oiling points on the bottom of the machine and in the needle bar area. This is very important to oil this regularly. There is a point right in this location where the zigzag, there's a shaft that goes in and out here. You have to keep that oiled or your zigzag's not going to work properly. Please remember to like and subscribe the video. It helps me out. And I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. See ya.